Welcome, welcome. In this lesson, I'll go over splitting out the panels on our model and adding thickness to those, and for that we'll use the shell modifier. And I have the file open here in 3D Studio Max. I've also got Photoshop open with my reference image or reference photo, and so I can look at the top of the vehicle here and see kind of where some paneling is happening and what they look like. And in 3D Studio Max, of course, we have our reference image. I'll just hide my model really quickly. And so that also shows us what's going on. Alrighty, and so what I'll do is I'll select the body of my model, and I'll just go ahead and delete the symmetry modifier for now. And I'll select the body of my model. I'll hit Alt-X to turn on see-through or X-ray mode. And so now, of course, we can see through to what's going on below. And then what I'll be doing here is simply going through and splitting edges where I see a panel seam. Now, there's two ways you can do this. You can go by face selection. And so you just drag select, or click select all the faces you want. And then from here, you can go to detach and make sure it says detach the element, and you can OK that. Then when I switch to element mode and I select, I've just broken that out into an element. And the other way you can do it, let me go ahead and hide this piece that we've broken out already, is you can go to edge mode, and I just double click that edge to select its loop. I'll alt click to remove what I don't need. And then if you go to split, that will also break apart your edges. And so it's using that process. We'll go over the car and, areas like where the door seam occurs, you'll just follow that. Make sure we're not going on the window. Oops. Just to double check what we've got going on there. We'll just follow that, go in. Let me switch to make sure I have the correct line. Yep. And we'll just go in and do a split. And we'd repeat that process, this area here, moving around the vehicle to make sure we've got the correct seam line, and we'll split. If I check here, you can see that I just broke that out into a separate piece. And so let me go ahead and show the rest of my model here. And I'll switch back to shaded mode, and I'll isolate the body of my car that we just worked on, just to show you what's going to happen here. So you'd go over the car and split all that out, where applicable. And once that's done, I'll go ahead and apply a turbo smooth modifier. And you can see that it's starting to kind of give you where your edges are. But to really see what's happening here, what you need to do is go ahead and give some thickness to those panels, and I did that by adding the shell modifier. And now when you zoom in, you can see that there's thickness here, and it's set to outer amount. I'll zero that out and actually set it to inner amount because I want the thickness to go in. You can see that's what's happening there. And we'll use the default of 1 for the inner amount and 1 segment. Now when I hop to my turbo smooth, that is what is happening. Now, this is kind of what we're needing, but of course, these edges are pretty ugly. And I can increase my turbo smooth, but then things start separating. So what we're needing here is basically control edges in order for these seams to be sharper and look better. So with my shell modifier, before I start adding in my control edges, what I'm going to do is scroll all the way down and choose Select Interfaces. because what shell does is it doubles it creates a shell over your polygons basically. And so while we're needing the edges, we're not needing these inner polygons here, as this would boost your poly count tremendously, and it's not very efficient. So what we'll do is we'll make sure select interfaces is checked. I'll add an edit poly, I'll switch to face mode, and I'll delete those faces. Another thing you need to be mindful of as well is you'll get faces on the side of the model here. And this is our line of symmetry, and we're not needing those because that will give you some weird smoothing issues. So we'll just go through and we delete all of these. And actually a quick way to do this is you can check by angle, and I'll drop my angle to something really small. And so now you can select more faces instead of going through and clicking one by one. It will work for most faces that correspond to the angle that you put in. And so now we'll just delete that. And so now once we've done that, back in our Turbo Smooth, we'll look at things again. And so, as I mentioned, we'll be needing control edges here in these areas to tighten things up a bit, so you're not getting the tears and just the weird smoothing that's happening here. So for that, I'll just go ahead and add another edit poly. And I'll show edge faces. Then you can use your Swift Loop tool. And now what I'm doing is I'm toggling between my end result with my Turbo Smooth so I can see where I'm needing these. And then it's a matter of just going in and using the Swift Loop to give yourself edges where you're needing them. So you can see what that did there. You can see that tightened that area up as well. Tighten that area up. And so you'd repeat this process for your paneling. And now when you toggle between the end result, you can see that things are shaping up quite a bit better. And so it's just a matter of going through and doing that. And of course, we just repeat that throughout the model. Alrighty, that's it for this lesson. I look forward to seeing you in the next. Bye.